Hey. My name's Zena.
Hi, Zena.
Hi. Thank you.
Hi, Zena.
Hey. My mom and daddy are from Paris. Yeah, but they moved up to Detroit to get jobs in the auto factories. But every summer, I came back down and stayed with Grandma, Granny, my aunts. And sometimes I'd even stay a little longer and go to school down here. Yeah. So I wanted to tell you all a story about my Aunt Sue. She used to take me fishing. So this story about my pet fish. It's a fish story. So my Aunt Sue used to take me down to Big Sandy and we'd catch fish. She'd take me all over and we'd catch fish. But one time we went and we were fishing for catfish. Yeah, and y'all know how hot it gets by noon, so we'd always go early, real early in the morning. It was a good day. We was baiting the hook and pulling catfish in just left and right. We had a whole bunch of them. You know, we would take them off the hook and just throw them on the bank because they were coming in so quick. So we'd put another worm and just put it in there and pull another one out. And most of them, you know, they died, but we'd, you know, get them just before they died and put them in the water. But there's one of them we pulled up. It was a big fish. It was a huge stout catfish, you know. Threw him on the bank and I forgot about him. He must have laid up there about an hour. Yeah. And I turned around and sure enough, that fish was flip-flopping. He was flip-flopping. He's been out there like an hour. And I told Aunt Sue, isn't that wonderful? Look at that catfish, how strong he is, how stout he is. I can't wait to carry him home. And Sue said, well, let's put him in the bucket and we go home. And so we did. We went home. And we got all the other catfish ready. We had a big mess of catfish and fried them up, except for that one fish. I said, Sue, can I keep that fish for my friend? Can I keep that fish? She said, I guess that'd be all right. So I put the fish in the bucket and I left it all night. And I went in the morning and looked in the bucket to see how my fish was doing. And that fish was going round and round and round. I was so proud of him. And I said, you know, I wonder if he'd do like he did at the river. If I take him out of the bucket and put him on the bank, if he'd do all right. So I tried it. I pulled him out of the bucket and threw him on the river, or on the bank for a little while in the grass. It was the back porch. And I left him there for a couple hours. And then I went to see if he was all right, and he was. And I put him in the bucket, you know, I wasn't going to be cruel. So then I said, you know what? I wonder if I can train that fish. Yeah. So next day I pulled him out of the bucket and I left him over there on the grass for 4 hours. Went back and checked on him. Flip, flop, flip, flop. Strong fish. I said, I think I can train him. Next day I left him out 8 hours. It took me about a week, and he didn't have to stay in the water at all. Yeah, didn't have to keep him in the water at all. Yeah, he got to be my friend. I got me some string, and I tied around its neck, and we'd go walking. Yeah. We'd go visiting. Yeah. Yeah, we'd walk down the road and go visit people. Yeah, he was really good. But then it was time for school, you know, and I had to explain to the fish that I wasn't going to be there. He was going to be all by himself. And he had to stay up at the house because I was going to go get the school bus, so you need to stay up at the house. And there's a long driveway, and we had a little creek and walked over the road and had to wait for the bus. So the night before, I took my fish, I named him Bob, and I looked at him. I said, Bob, I'm going to school tomorrow, you're going to have to stay at the house, and I'll be back in the afternoon. And I looked at him, and I thought he understood. So in the morning, I had my breakfast and I took out down the driveway to go to school. Well, I start walking down the driveway and here comes that fish. I can hear him on the gravel. Flip, flop, flip, flop, flip, flop, flip. I turned around and said, Bob, I talked to you last night. I told you that I have to go to school, that you can't come with me. You have to stay away here. So I took him back to the house. Then I turned around and started walking again. Sure enough, flip, flop, right behind me again. So I got mad at him and I stooped down and I grabbed me some gravel and I threw it at him. I said, get back to the house. It's getting time for the bus to come. So I started running to the road, and you know, there's a bridge. It wasn't the best bridge, it went over the creek. There's a slat out, so I had to be careful. But I was running to get the bus, and I hear that fish coming behind me, flip, flop, flip, flop, flip, flop. And then he got on the wood bridge, flippity floppity, flippity floppity. You know, a fish will sound different on wood than it will in gravel. It will. So he was flippity floppity, and then bam, I didn't hear him. And I was worried, and so I turned around and ran real quick back to the bridge because I was afraid of what had happened. That slat was out. He fell through and into the creek and drowned.